and welcome back to Voices of Countercurrents, where we explore the ideas and identities that challenge the status quo.
We are your hosts, Alex and Polina, and today we're diving into part two of our conversation on modern relationships across cultures, with a focus on Russia, the US, and even India.
Last week, we divided into many forms of relationship, and we discussed how it can take, where it can take, starting with how we label them, what those labels mean, and whether naming our connections actually helps us or not. We also touched on what draws people into relationship in the first place.
This week, we're going even deeper. We'll talk about gender expectations, arranged versus chosen love, and how younger generations are reshaping romantic norms, often in quiet rebellion.
Whether you are tuning in again or joining us for the first time, this episode picks up where we left off, asking bold questions about love, culture, and what happens when personal choices collide with collective norms.
Let's get into it. And I'll start with one question to you, Polina.
Oh, yeah,
How do
I'm
you
ready.
find the state of Russian society today as a whole in terms of dating and relationships? Would you say it's healthy or not?
Ooh. Yes, I'm laughing. I guess you know my answer, right? Um,
I
I
probably
think
have some idea.
you know. I think I used to think that it's not healthy, and there are many examples which I find not healthy at all. But for example, if when I go to India and open their dating websites and see what happens there and what is offering, um, I sometimes feel, oh, we are okay. But, and then again, go back and see what happens at home sometimes. So, I mean, it happens everywhere. And it sometimes crosses the limits. But still, what I have to say, I think women in Russia generally, in terms of relationship, behave more like in a very quite modest way. So, for example, when my friend in India showed me some kind of uh, offers for him, like the girl is texting, like, yeah, we are actually, I have a boyfriend, he is in Mumbai, but we are free, like, to meet anyone, and that's like a fine. I can say that this is would be a very rare case in Russia if it would be. But I think we all go through this stage where relationship, even family positions became very shaky because of actually this dating website, which allow people to find a partner for 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 one day, for one evening. Um, so and you, if I ask the same question.
Oh, I would certainly say that the dating culture here where I live is absolutely a mess. That there's very little expectation that one can have. You simply look for what you need in the ocean of possibilities. And if you find it, you are lucky. And you may as well start to use magical rituals to draw it to you because the odds are like being a of finding what you need are like a Gigantocyprus, which is a kind of small sea creature that is the size of a pea, floating in the ocean depths, actually finding what it needs. And so you have to go through a very great deal of, shall we say, numerical progress, going through many, many people. And after you go through those many, many people, you will eventually find the item or the type of persona, psychology, or spirit that you need. But then a lot of this also depends, I imagine, in all three countries, whether it's India, the United States, or Russia, on whether you're dealing with big city people or small town people. How
Exactly,
how would you
exactly.
say that small towns differ from the big cities in Russia?
Not only small towns and big city difference, also there can be regions like, for example, Caucasus, where, for example, we take Chechen Republic, then there it's impossible to hear.
My favorite people. My favorite people.
Yeah. But I mean, in a small village, uh, in most cases, people are more humble and they don't even use this dating. I think young people all already in the big cities, and of course. The same story in India, or when I live in a small village, locals are very shy, and girls you don't even see them. But I mean, girls who comes from Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, big metropolises, and they are very arrogant and like, yeah, I mean, and quite, yeah, a lot of what is it? What is it to describe? Yeah. Um, we'll say like this way, in the moderate way, yeah, and they're very confident and they know what they want. I would say it this way. Um, Certainly so. And if we talk about, I think the United States, I think there would be no difference between big cities, because United States, I think, more kind of equal in different regions. No, am I right or wrong?
In the US, it really depends on the state and the region, and there is a big difference between big cities and small towns. Um, Gender roles, more similar to Russia, definitely prevail in the South, even to this day, especially in the small towns where people tend to marry what is called their high school sweetheart. They meet someone when they're very young, or they grow up together, and away they go, eventually into the sunset. So yes, it's extremely similar, all things considered. And I think inherently so, this seems to be a theme across most cultures today in the 21st century, where there is a big city, small town divide. And although there are gradations between cultures as to how much uh, of an approach there is, it's basically something that is an international trend now, I think.
Mm-hmm. Uh, mm, so coming back to Dayton website, I want to ask, do people use dating apps mainly for hookups, or because, for example, recently I've just deleted my account, and by the way, yeah, yeah, yes, yes, yes. By the way, I want to say that not only me, not only me who does this thing, like enrolls and then deletes it in 2 3 weeks, even if the person. I was surprised when I talk with two guys and they said like, okay, no, 2 3 weeks, I can't anymore, and I remove the profile from this because that's too exhausting, too time consuming. And
Yeah.
is there the same in the United States? Do you know this habit?
Yes, so that's a wonderful question you ask. And I have to say, uh, going a little bit aside, how the whole internet dating thing has evolved, especially as it started as a trend, I'm sure, in the English-speaking world, as most of modern trends do. It started out as very much a way for people to meet people. And it worked for a while, I think, when I was just a child and dating was the furthest thing on my mind. I think people were successfully using online to meet people and to form serious relationships. Then it's sort of evolved or devolved, depending on your perspective, into a place to seek hookups, and people became less serious. And now I would say that for the most part, online dating is now actually dead in the English speaking world. I would even be so bold as to say that. And people are doing other things, activities to meet people.
Mm.
Something that I have also done recently called speed dating, where you sign up for an
Mm.
event and
Yes.
then you go to meet people in your city. I think a lot of people are doing things like that now rather than
Mhm.
online dating. Because online dating, at least here in the English speaking world, has turned into mostly scams and AI and robots and
Mm,
people who are.
mhm.
So people have gotten tired of it and they're returning actually to real life.
No, and hookups, right? I think this is still can be possible through online dating and
It's
very convenient.
possible, but not as much as before. And there's not as much hookups going on as people imagine. Um, if we look at statistics now, if I can be so bold as to use the word on the podcast, people are not having as much um, random sex
Yeah.
as media may make it seem, or
Mm.
movies may make it seem. That was really more 10 years ago and more when people were doing a lot of that stuff. Since then, it's been a gradual or fast evolution um, in a different direction, as we covered on the earlier podcasts. But
Yes.
basically, online dating has been largely given up by a lot of people here.
I don't know. I don't know because I'm still getting these offers when I'm trying to find something more more decent. I'm still getting these offers online,
In Russia?
and what I want to say that I am not sure if if I mean if they really happen as you said, because among all my friends, I mean me female friends, um I might say only among all people, female girls who I talked privately, some kind of shares some moments, I can say only two can do this. Um, uh, like for some reason, psychologically, they are okay with meeting person all of sudden and having intimacy with him, but most of girls they won't accept it anyhow anywhere. I mean that's a quite kind of impossible thing. So I don't know where guys take all this and why is it just still it's still on their tongues a lot. Yeah, I mean we can hear it here and there in every place, but I don't know if it really happens. So you might be right that it actually doesn't.
Yes, yeah. People, relationships are very difficult to research because it's people's private lives, right? So we can't expect them to always be honest in terms of their self-reporting because
Yeah.
certain aspects of pride come into such measurements. So what we can do, however, is look at anonymous statistics if you really want to get down to it. What do people self-report or admit to when there's no name attached? And that's kind of how I think these statistics are gathered. But maybe
Yeah.
perhaps I think it's a little bit different in Russia because as I said, most of these trends they start in the English speaking world and they move out from there to the rest of the world. So we may here already be in a different stage of social change than in India or Russia.
Yeah, probably you already like of the past certain I think right now that's my personal opinion. I um think that India right now have a very huge sexual revolution because they are very
So it seems.
qu
I'm
yeah,
amazed by what you've told me.
quickly, yeah, we very quickly from a very traditional world go to so much like what is it? Open relationship, and they take everything from the United States, what already there passed away. I mean, somewhere gone, but they are. It's just so. I think India is ahead of. Russia is maybe behind. Yeah, if you say that in America it's already going down, then Russia is behind India. Would be like that because Russia is a little bit maybe everything is more under control because I think of religion and we are still we don't have this mm, in culture. I think that's a little bit restricted so far. I think it's under control. Um, what are the signs that relationship is serious in your culture?
Ah, the signs. The signs can unfortunately be very confusing and varied
Hmm.
because this is the ultimate culture of, in a sense, freedom, where nobody really tells you how to live. So everybody kind of does their own thing. However, the classical signs of a relationship being serious, I
Hmm.
think, are easily recognizable across all cultures. For example, two people are dating for a while. They're dating for maybe 6 months. They're getting to know each other. They're not sleeping together or doing anything of this nature. They're not moving in together until they get married, which is also a very classical traditional approach. And then man proposes at some point, and she accepts or not. And if she accepts, they move forward and are engaged. And then after a period of planning, they get married and live happily together. At least we hope. Um, and that pattern is very recognizable across all cultures, I believe, given give and take, of course, different cultural ways of doing things. But the basic pattern, I think, is the same. But
Yeah.
I don't know about when I think about some of these things, I'm sure that there are different gender-based double standards when it comes to the more casual relationships. Uh, what does that, how does that look in Russia?
Oh, I think we would just a little bit already touch this topic. I told you that in Russia we have such structure, family structure, when man um, is given more freedom and but more responsibilities. So the man is expected is expected to be responsible for money and for providing like let's say money for family, but at the same time we have this tendency that the man is allowed to cheat. I don't know why allowed. So that's a kind of but um, girl that's is not allowed to do this. And this is a very interesting approach
Although
to
it probably does happen.
Hmm? Say again.
It probably does happen if the woman is unhappy, but she may be more quiet about it. Perhaps the man doesn't feel the need to even cover it up. So, because people are people, and they will seek their happiness one way or the other.
Um, yeah, I don't know why this happens with this way, but it this is how it is, and it also goes in the Caucasus the same story. So the woman should be a virgin definitely when she goes marriage, but go get married. But the guy is not necessary. That's like quite forgivable for him to have a certain hundreds of affairs before. That's double standard, I would say. Speaking, do you have this in the United States?
I think we used to, but at this point, there aren't really too many double standards anymore. Maybe with some people, but more or less, that is one thing I can say is that men and women are basically held to the same standard here, one way or the other,
Hmm.
in
That's
this
I
regard.
think the same story with India, because in India there's I felt like mm, first that women have more voices than here in Russia, for some reason, and they reasons, I guess, because um, mm, there is a different. Mm, they are not equal. I mean, in terms of amount of women and men in India, yeah, a man choose no, women choose a man because um women
Really?
yeah, because if in Russia we have more women than men, that there is opposite rate in India. They have more men than women, and I guess that's one thing. Uh, mm,
Why do they have more men than women? Have you figured that out?
why?
Yes,
Why in India?
in
Because I think
India.
maybe at certain point they wanted to get rid of the girls, because they wanted to have guys, and then at the end they have guys, but then the guys, they don't have enough women to get married, and there are a lot of guys who are searching and in the need. Yes, and women there, they tend to choose and to show their desires in a quite open way, more open way. If they want a guy, they arrange a date and they offer everything. What actually surprised me a lot, and they go into physical intimacy quite often without even thinking what is it. Is it like they? I think they don't give a thought what they do. They think like, all right, that's nothing. Because in Russia, physical intimacy for women, that's something like who's holy,
Mm.
yeah, that's kind of something special. And they're no, that's like I feel that it's a game for them. And this is in on this contrast, especially you feel it very strongly when you feel this contrast, when you meet other people and see how they do. You understand, oh, we don't do like that, before you didn't even think of these things. um
That's really amazing because I would have thought it would have been the opposite of what you were saying in regards to the differences between Russia and India.
hmm,
So that's really surprising to me, all the things that you've told me about India. One more question about India, if you're able to, if you've been able to perceive it. Is
yes.
there a difference in the way that Muslims in India, as opposed to Hindus or Sikhs or any of the other uh, religious cultures that exist on the Indian subcontinent. Is there a difference in the way that any Muslims that you may know that are there approach dating and romantic life differently from the majority Hindu population?
That's again the question about big cities and small cities. I think
Mm.
no, they do the same every, yeah.
It's
But
the same.
if we go to small city, I've just recently talked with my Muslim friend. He is from Islamabad. Oh no, 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 not Islamabad. Pardon, I forgot the name of the city. Mm, forgot. Okay, have forgotten. But he said that I said, is it possible? He said, like, before it was absolutely not possible to have any physical, any physical relationship. I mean, intimacy before dating, just arranged engagement marriage. He is Muslim. But right now, it's like sometimes happens, but not quite often. But speaking about big city, I have there a Muslim, not a friend, but let's say the person who I know, the friend of my friend, let's say like that, and he dates a Hindu girl, and everything is fine. That's a bungalow, and. Depends on a place. Of course, in a small village, rural area, that's absolutely impossible. Even in Goa, I mean, locals they do check who is he, who is she with. Yeah, that's they do check what happens around, and but people who come to Goa from big cities, they do whatever they want. And even if it's a good good surrounding for them, good uh, vibe, I would say, and they do whatever they
Interesting.
want.
Interesting. So it's largely the same. And that rolls pretty well into the next question that was kind of on my mind. How does religion impact dating and marriage in Russia in regards to the practice of it? For example, here in the United States, people that are religious, they absolutely will tend to take a more traditional approach to a relationship. And people who practice a certain religion very strongly will seek a partner that is of that same religion, and they will not go forward with dating someone if they are outside of that religion.
Mm.
And it's more common here than you would imagine in the place of freedom, because what tends to happen in large cities here is that people who have a certain culture or background that they belong to, they will actually relate and affiliate themselves more with that culture or background than they would in their home country. Because when, especially if someone is an immigrant here, they will come here and then feel that they are surrounded by an energy that is different, and then they will actually, in some ways, become more like their home culture than they were previously. And that really definitely can impact marriage choices and dating choices in general. How is it in Russia?
Of course, it does impact, but I mean, if we let's say if we are talking about Caucasian people, they of course do marry only in their tribes. I mean, they try, yeah. At least somewhere like Chechen can marry in Gush, and it's okay for them to marry any Muslim people from Caucasus, or let's talk. They will be okay to marry some person Arabic person from Dubai, but they will very much resist.
Because of
Uh, uh, uh,
because
second,
of money.
yeah, yeah, but they will be very happy. But they will very much against. They will be against marriage with the Orthodox, or they will try to convert you. Speaking about, I mean, in Russia, we have all people are Orthodox, right? And I mean, Slavic people, most of them, they are Orthodox, and so they don't have um, here, like they don't belong to different churches, which is fine. But if the question if we set the question this way, how religion what role does it play, then I would say that sometimes the role is the minimal. So people they belong to church, but if we say if we say honestly, churches are empty mostly in Russia. So you can come in the morning and in a big city, and the church will be like kind of full. But how full should it be if it's a big city and everyone, at least one member of a family should, I mean, in terms of religion, yeah, according to religious rule, yeah, they should attend a Sunday messa, if you want to say, yeah, Sunday prayer, morning prayer, and they don't. So that means, like, okay, like let's say in church you have maybe 150 people, yeah, but that's nothing if there is like thousand or million people in the city, which means that they put the same attitude towards marriage, so they want to have certain rituals, but this is for them mostly like a beautiful ritual. They go to, I don't know, before, like, no, after getting married, they go to the church to be blessed by a priest, and they have certain ritual there. And but for them, in most cases, it means nothing. According to this ritual, you can't be divorced. But if you believe so, then you shouldn't even think about divorce. But most of these people, they do divorce and they don't go to church. They forget about church after this day again for many years till the moment the first baby will be born. Then they go to baptize it, and then they. So that's the just. What is it? Just, I don't know, pop up and leave. That's the way. Like I would say, most of Russians, um, they might. Most of them, they say, we believe, we have icons, but we don't need to visit churches, and then it's already quite strange already. Um, I don't know, attitude. So this is, I think, the role. Maybe I didn't answer the question because still at the same time, religion keeps marriages sometimes, keeps them going, yeah, because of this, yeah, because like, oh, they think, okay, God's uh, united ours, yes, so we have to follow this really and certain things. What is it in the United States?
Well, the Protestant Church allows divorce. The Catholic Church, for a long time, did not. The attitude to divorce has a very, very deep history, far deeper than I can go into here. But basically, Protestantism, which is, I think it's probably was the majority of the population of the United States until there was a higher degree of immigration from Latin America that started to occur, and then more of the population became Catholic because most of Latin America is Catholic.
Mhm.
But I think it definitely impacts how seriously people take marriage. Absolutely. And although divorce is has always been allowed per se, I definitely religious people will stay in their marriages for a much longer time, try to work through their problems if they have them, and will raise their children in a much more traditional way. And also, just as a side note, will tend to give birth to much larger numbers of children.
Mm.
If you look at the demographic map here, the uh, what are called red Republican states, even if their populations are smaller, they have a much faster growth rate, a much higher total fertility rate than what people think of as being blue or liberal states, such as New York and California. So basically, the more religious attitude that there is in a couple, that will have an impact on how large the family is and how long that it seems to last in general.
I think that's the same here. Absolutely the same here. Especially in Muslim families, this works very well. But do arranged
Yes.
marriage exist in the United States? Because here
I,
they don't exist, especially only except, I mean, maybe Caucasus. Yeah, I'm talking about Chechen, Ingush, this. If we say, for example, Dagestan, Republic of Dagestan, I think they have, but a very like few of them exist that I think only largely then widely still they exist in Chechen. What is it in the United States?
it's amusing that you anticipated my question so brilliantly. That's exactly the area I was going to move into next. We don't have arranged marriages here in the United States,
Mhm.
except for a very few groups. They're probably microscopic, and I may not even know their names. They're so small. Uh, the only group that has done arranged marriages in the past would be, I would say, the Mormons, who is an American form of Christianity. Some people think it's Christianity, some people don't, but it was founded in the state of Utah, and that has a whole history that I will not get into here. But they have done arranged marriages before in the past. Uh, the Amish, who are very simple people, they do beautiful woodwork though, but they don't believe in technology.
Mm.
They've always lived more on the East Coast of the United States, Pennsylvania, Ohio, states like that.
Mhm.
Uh, they may have arranged marriages, I think, and our own continental North American version of what I would say Chechen people and a lot of their customs, the Hutterites, who are actually German Ukrainian immigrants who first came here during the upheaval of the Russian Revolution uh, in the early 1920s.
Mhm. I
Uh,
see.
they they are a interesting group. They do work with technology, but they have a very traditional form of life. Other than that, religion is very important in their lives. They tend never to marry outside of their Hutterite communities. It's almost unheard of. Um, they don't take in outsiders too much. South America also has groups, usually of a German background, that are very socially similar to this. Um, I don't think they have ever had exactly arranged marriages, but they may have uh, people
Well,
that
well,
they may
well.
push their children towards, in a sense, like, oh, um, this person she likes you or he likes you, and they're very good. Their family is very good. You should consider them. They may do things like that, but they don't have like literal arranged marriages where the children don't have any choice. But India, I think, is the stereotypical place where truly arranged marriages take place.
Yeah,
But
but
that
we
may be
don't have
changing.
time to discuss it already because less than 1 minute left in this conference, and we're finishing already this episode for today. And so that was a wrap up. Part two, our deep dive into relationship across cultural lines